Hello, everybody, and welcome to Season 2 of the Undercast.
Fake it till you make it, baby. We've gotten this far. Season 2. I can't believe we've made it here. So today we wanted to be a little bit yeep with you guys. We wanted to go a little bit yeep.
Deep?
Yeah, deep. We wanted to get deep with you guys. You know?
We want to get deep with you. We want you to open up your third eye.
Is that what we're doing? We're doing chakras?
No, but
today on the Undercast, episode 1 of season 2, chakras.
I don't even properly know
why they don't exist. No,
it's something like the pineal gland in your head or something like that.
Yes, the pineal gland.
Yes.
That's my favorite part.
That is your third eye.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh. Alright, so we're going to be sharing with you guys some, I guess it's kind of personal, but it's more deep. It's
philosophy.
Our own, it's philosophy,
It's
right?
philosophy.
That's why we don't want it to be boring in a way that philosophy can be. That's why we're sharing with you our personal philosophies.
Yes,
you know?
Things that we've gathered throughout our relatively short time on this earth.
But being young, I think we're at the proper stage where we haven't forgotten a lot of the things that we've stumbled across and learned from our failures.
I wasn't saying we did. I'm just saying, here's what we've gathered from a relatively short time on this earth.
Yeah, and speaking of short time, before I forget, we want to keep season 2 between 25 and 30 minutes. We went super long on some episodes of season 1, and we want to keep it in with you guys because attention spans are low, especially even for us.
I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, no idea.
Our 2.5 hour long season finale wasn't that bad.
I'm so sorry. Also, watch Lego Star Wars and Minecraft Let's Play.
Oh yes, please.
We started our gaming segment.
But
anyway,
actually beautiful.
It's really nice. We got the 2 memeable games in existence. 2 of the most, anyway.
2 of the most I don't know.
Are we playing them ironically or not? Because sometimes it feels like both.
I am not playing Lego Star Wars ironically. I love Lego Star Wars.
I'm kind of playing Minecraft ironically,
really?
But I love it so much because I grew up with it.
Fair enough. I'm definitely not playing Lego Star Wars. I love that game to death, and yeah.
I mean, we both do, and hopefully we're gonna probably do a special episode of Lego Star Wars for you guys, where we both do a collab because he's now doing it on PC, because his phone version isn't working, but he's gonna pick off from where he left off, so you guys won't have to worry about that. But now that he has the PC version, you can go online, and I might get the game, and we'll do some online play and multiplayer with Lego Star Wars.
I should state that the PC version, it's on sale, and it cost less than the
mobile
version.
Game,
yes, which is whack.
All right, so anyway, let's get into today's topic. Noah, you
philosophy.
Philosophy. Well, you're our philosophy.
For the very much deep thinkers of the world,
I
like to consider myself.
The very much deep thinkers of the world.
I very much like to consider myself a deep thinker because all I do is think.
I like to think of myself as a thiep dinker.
Oh.
What is something that you live by, mate?
Something that I live by.
Matey.
The simple, yet almost impossible...
It very is. It very is.
Almost impossible philosophy of don't.
I hate this philosophy, but love it at the same time.
It's so simple, yet it's one of the hardest... It can be one of the hardest things to do.
Apparently not for you, but definitely for me.
No, for a lot of people. It's the simple philosophy of don't.
Don't.
And what I have to say about it is don't. You feel sad? Just don't.
No,
that's part of it, just don't. But it's things like
I want to poke a slight hole in your philosophy.
Yeah.
Although it's so, and you're not wrong by saying if you're sad then don't. That was why one of my wishes in our Wish episode was just to be able to change my state of mind instantaneously so I could just don't. But that's why it is the hardest thing to grasp, because it's possible but just out of reach.
I don't even think it's just out of reach. Monks, they sit and they meditate for a reason, for a significant amount of time, like all of their life or something like that.
Something like that.
They
cut themselves tonsures, which is the tonsure, the haircut where they only have hair on the side of their head.
That's some monks. Most monks are bald, I thought.
Whatever.
Properly.
Yeah, fair enough.
Anyway, it's... they simply just don't, and it's quite amazing.
Now I want you to elaborate a little bit on this don't. So give me some examples other than You're sad, then don't.
I
How
was-
do you not?
I was going to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I planned on it.
I'm so sorry. My
should
philosophy.
be.
My philosophy. Oh, I should have just nodded. You know? Just not.
Just not.
I
Just
should've
just don't. Just don't.
I should have just don'ted right there.
Just
So
do.
sorry.
Just do, but not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I get it. Okay.
Thank
you for
of course. And
just do but not.
Yeah,
Alright.
just do not. There are a lot of complications with it because there are things like you want to yell at someone because they just sound like an idiot. Just don't.
Like me?
No, that's not what I was saying.
Well, I'm just an example.
I'm not. That wasn't my
I
example.
feel like this is directed at me.
No, it's not.
I'm just kidding.
It's a lot of people in my life. You just want to be angry and you just want to yell at someone. Just don't. Because really, if you think about it, yelling and being angry, it's dumb. Kind of doesn't get you anywhere in a lot of situations, just losing your temper like that. So just don't. You know?
Now, could you have the philosophy of just do? Because that applied to all things.
I don't know if it applies. It depends on the way you want to live your life. Do you want to live your life in control or out of control? If out of control, then just do. I mean, if in control, then just don't.
Now, should the philosophy of don't be applied to every situation?
It can be applied to a variety of situations.
But because there's a movie and it's, what is it called? It's called Yes Man, and it's the opposite. He agrees. He has a very dull and boring life, and he agrees to say yes to everything that comes his way. And it destroys his life. Yes.
That is the simple philosophy of don't. Probably the worst example of it. He's not stating his opinion. He's just being like yeah.
But could you also say I just don't share your opinion? Do share your opinion? Yes, being a yes man and just the philosophy of do not are very similar.
I'm not saying don't. I'm not saying be a yes man, but I'm also saying don't waste your time with petty arguments. Just don't.
So what does it apply to then?
Well, I think that's best decided for the person that decides to adopt the philosophy. I don't think there's any single philosophy that can be applied to every situation in life. I think there's too many variables.
Yeah, there really are.
So, no, it can't be applied to every situation, but I also believe that a majority of situations, yeah, why not? It's a lot of things. It's really up for you to decide, you shouldn't. So just don't.
If you've ever met our friend Garrett, he seems to...
Garrett is the most simple yet hardworking man you'll ever meet.
I wouldn't even say sometimes the most hardworking. And yes, he's hardworking, but he's so simple. Yet I can't tell sometimes if he's brain dead or if he's a genius, and it happens from moment to moment. And sometimes there's obvious moments where he is and isn't, but then there's sometimes where it's like you can't read him. And I think that's he almost has his own philosophy of don't. He just there's a lot of things he doesn't do that a ton of people like us do. Just high schoolers in general. The average high schooler would do.
Can you give me some examples?
He'll hate me for this if he ever listens to it.
Oh,
but he wakes up and he plays his practice pad and he plays his piano and then he works on his car and then he goes to sleep. He doesn't go to parties. He doesn't go out. He doesn't go out unless he absolutely needs to. He's a homebody. He's stoic, and I think that's first of all who he is, and that's I think he's embracing who he is as a person with all of his given characteristics. But I think he also kind of has that philosophy. He's like, if it doesn't benefit me, then no.
Yeah, it's very simple. Very simple. It's simple. It's the simplest philosophy there is. Just don't. But it's also probably the hardest one to practice
because our own human nature gets in the way.
Well, yeah.
All right. So, what you're saying, I guess I've only picked that up from Garrett. That somebody who really follows that philosophy without really even necessarily having one of his own. He just don't. That's what he does. He just do not.
Just do not.
I think.
It's really as simple as that.
But how does one practically use this daily? That is my question, I suppose.
You're on a diet. You see food. Just don't. Just don't eat it. Someone got angry at you for something stupid. It really doesn't matter what, but something small and petty, and you're angry. But you decide it's not worth it. Because just saying something will get you in more trouble. Just don't. And then there are things where if you just say it, it's going to spark an argument. So just don't. It's self-control, really.
So the art of do not
The art
is really just self-control.
Yeah. It's just self-control.
All right, and I think you think you gain that daily by putting it into practice, because I feel like a whole lifetime of practice you still wouldn't even be perfected at it.
I don't think anybody could absolutely. You know what? I take it back. Monks again. They're pretty good at that. But I'm fairly confident that people like me or Garrett. We have a lot of self-control.
I do not. I live off emotion, which is somebody like me would have a very hard time grasping do not.
I just don't. It's not hard to grasp. It's hard to practice.
No, I guess you're right. It's easy to grasp, just don't.
Yeah, just
but don't. I cannot trace where it is in me that makes me fight back or stick up for what I genuinely think is right every time, into a point that's just
pride.
That's just pride. But I don't know where that stems from.
I think pride can be one
is
of
it just human?
I honestly don't know, but I think pride can just be one of the worst things that people can have.
Again, Anakin's downfall was almost pride, I think.
It was more he wanted to save his wife from dying, and the
I think
Jedi
it goes
were like,
beyond
you can't.
that.
Well, that's what the main thing was. Is he was like, I want to save my wife from dying, and the Jedi won't let me have any love, and that was that. So he couldn't turn to the Jedi for help. So he went to
Maybe I just always saw pridefulness in him, and I don't.
Well, growing up, being
knowing
told
you're the chosen one,
being told you're the chosen one, and groomed like the chosen one, and he was probably the most powerful Jedi at that time. He was prideful. He was prideful. He was like, you underestimate my power.
Why? And then he died, and pride comes before the fall.
Yes.
I think that was just dramatic irony.
I don't think so, because that's just a real life situation. You underestimate my power,
and then
he's
gets
like,
killed.
And he's like, I know what you're going to do. Don't do it. And then he's like, bah!
Yeah, I guess Obi-Wan had a very good understanding of do not.
Yeah, he was very much not prideful, in the sense that Obi-Wan grew up the opposite of Anakin, literally being told he was the worst Jedi and nobody was going to accept him, and except Qui-Gon came along and was like, you know what, I'll take him. And then he grew up to be the best. So of course Obi-Wan's going to be humble, and Anakin would be prideful.
So really all of this comes from almost a cultural standpoint,
I suppose.
Also, Star-Lord. I
Star-Lord?
think he was prideful enough to...
I think,
well, he was very emotional driven and should have lived by the...
Just don't.
Just don't, because he then cost all of existence a 50% decrease.
Yeah.
Because he punched Thanos before they could get the gauntlet off of him.
Yeah.
I think that was... that right there actually is dramatic irony. It's an example of him trying to hurt, and in doing so... helps him.
He's done that.
That would be dramatic irony.
He's done that a lot, actually.
Because he's supposed to... I think he's supposed to be the most human out of all of the Avengers. He grew up in the United States.
He was like 7.
I get it, but he comes from... Or everyone else has something... They were either broken, being trained, or they were injected with a power or super serum. And the only person more prideful than him, in my opinion, is Tony Stark.
And Tony Stark hasn't really had a... I really screwed up here.
Yeah, he hasn't really... He's just good at being prideful.
Actually, you know what? I bet at the end of Civil War, he was like, man, I really screwed up here. When he like, that's my father's shield, and Captain America dropped it and walked away.
Oof. Yeah, that was pretty oof. So we've already steered to the direction of movies.
I also want to say, I don't think he's the most human of them, but anyway.
You don't think Star-Lord's the most human of all of the...
I think they're all equally human. Except for, the aliens.
Yeah, just except for them.
Even them, they're pretty human.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think Thanos is pretty human.
Well, he's a Titan.
As human as a Titan can be. Anyway.
So what is your philosophy?
Thank you. Mine is essentially... how do you word... You are what you think.
You are what you think
Not
about?
the whole you think, I think, therefore I am. But you are... And I mean, that is an obvious way to counteract the whole... glitch, you're in the Matrix kind of thing. I think, therefore I am. So even if you are, you still exist because you think you do. And that's all that matters. But no, I'm talking about more of what you think about yourself, you will become.
I think that's a better way to phrase it.
There we go.
What you think about is what you'll become.
Yes, that is more.
Yeah.
That is very tied in with what I personally believe.
If you think, man, I'm a really sad person, you're going to be pretty sad.
We're all fake. Now, I wouldn't say fake depression, but I would say, what is the term for almost everyone in our high school who is sad but really isn't, who claims to be, and they're just making themselves sad forcefully?
Edgy?
I guess. I guess. It's like, you really have it good. If you're living in the United States and at least the middle class, and you have a roof over your head,
and clean water,
you're doing far better than 98% of the rest of the world.
I used to believe that, actually. But
also, it's wherever you are in your mind as well.
Well, there's more to it. I used to believe that, and I still do. Is I think about it, and I'm very grateful for my situation and where I was born. That's just completely out of my control. So I'm very grateful for where I ended up. But you also think, having this your whole life, people don't really understand things outside of that.
Where they grow up.
They don't understand, how do I phrase this? They don't...
What you don't have, you can't comprehend. Like, what you aren't grown up having.
Well, I don't...
Because I can move to Africa in the depths of what you're... Like, I can move to the depths of Africa as I am now and be like, oh, crap. I miss my PC and my room and everything. But everyone there, they're like, oh, this is just the normal.
Well, I don't think it's... What did you say? I'm sorry.
What I think about I am.
No. About comprehension.
Like, what you don't have, you can't. What you don't grow up having, you can't comprehend.
See, really. I don't. That's not quite what I meant. Although I agree with that, somewhat. It's more so these people. Since they've never experienced stuff like that, this is their normal.
Exactly what I'm saying.
For something like Africans, they would move here and be like, wow, this is great. So for people in high school...
I like how we've always just grown up thinking, wow, Africans have it so terrible, yet they're like cities that are thriving.
Yeah, well, you don't hear about the cities. You
the outskirt Africans that are living in yurts.
You only hear about the starving refugees in Wakanda.
Orphans... Wakanda?
In Wakanda,
This is the end of Wakanda.
And it'll be the noblest ending in history. But see, so someone that's always had it this good, something less significant would hurt them more than someone in Africa that's always had it bad. It's all
perspective, really.
Yeah, something that might destroy me might just be the normal for someone else is what I'm saying.
And it's exactly why I say what I think about I am, or I will become, or I already am. Is people, they think about what they have and what they are, and with the culture they're integrated in, and that's what they are. They're never going to be anything else unless they legitimately learn, become knowledgeable about that certain thing, and they strive to become it. But
I don't know.
They are where they are because they think about it, I suppose.
No.
I think you can become what you think about.
I think you become what you think about. I don't think you are what you are because you think about it.
No. This has become very confusing.
Yes.
No, what I'm saying basically is what you just said. You will become subconsciously or by choice what you are constantly going over in your head. If I'm constantly thinking about myself as less than, there's something called body dysmorphia, which is a little bit different. It's an actual...
Dysphoria?
Oh, is it dysphoria? Or is it dysmorphia?
It's dysphoria.
Hold on, I got you.
That's where
you think you look like something completely different than what you really do. Yes. Is it dysphoria or dysmorphia? Because morph would make sense.
Dysphoria.
Okay, body... Dysmorphia.
I've only heard dysphoria. It's also only searching up your...
A mental illness involving obsessive focus on a perceived flaw in appearance. Huh. So basically, if I'm consistently going over in my mind that I am less than because I have a big nose or a small nose or non-symmetrical features or something that would completely drive me crazy, which I think I kind of suffered mildly from that. In a way in my past, but if you think about it enough, you will legitimately become that in your mind. You know, so it does go back to I think, therefore I am. You think about something constantly, and that's what you'll become. You understand? Yeah. Like, I think people who take, roids, right? They're constantly jacked, and once they get off that high, and then they look at themselves, they're like, in reality, they're freaking massive. They're just jacked. They're huge. Then they look at themselves once they're off that high, and they're like, I'm a wimp, and they hate themselves because they're suffering from body dysmorphia. They're seeing what's not there because they're focusing on that flaw to constantly get better in one area. So once they come off that high, and obviously that's a drug-induced body dysmorphia, but once they come off that high of being on steroids, they're just, holy crap, I'm a wimp, I'm nothing. But in reality, they're freaking huge. And no person in their right standing would ever think to themselves, oh, dude, that guy's a wimp. He never hits the gym. And obviously people don't have to necessarily be taking drugs to have body dysmorphia. But that's an example of I think, therefore I am. What I'm thinking about is what I'll become. Mentally, physically, or otherwise. And I do think it does kind of affect you physically as well.
Yeah.
I think it'll eventually start manifesting itself within you physically. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to think I'm beautiful all the time and I'll become more attractive.
I've also heard that the thoughts you think are... if you think ugly thoughts, you'll be ugly. If you think nice thoughts, you'll look nice.
I guess that's a really, really, really basic nursery school version of what I'm saying.
Well, it's kind of...
Because it hits on that area. Like, you think beautiful thoughts, you'll be beautiful. And the whole thing we were talking about in our depression and suicide video, what you input is what you'll output. So if you're inputting people's comments. God, it must be so difficult to be an actual YouTuber, like somebody that posts daily and has a huge following and is just constantly being battered by both good, negative, weird comments just daily. Thousands of them.
It's also the same for musicians.
Oh yeah, artists of any type that have a large following, or at least a following with multiple people that are saying things consistently to them.
Right.
And I think if you dwell on a thing, then you will become that thing.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's a philosophy that I think I personally am very well acquainted with, personally as well.
Well, yeah. It's very real stuff, philosophy and man.
It's the theory. It's almost like cut that out. It's almost like the theory of humanity. We're all coming up with different theories on how they work, and then how to like we're making an owner's manual for ourselves while we're discovering ourselves as humans.
Like an owner's manual.
I guess almost we could compare it to that.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we are just, 10-pound slabs of meat just kind of piloting a body that we were given?
10-pound slabs of meat.
The brain.
Oh, the brain. I was like,
the brain.
I am not 10 pounds.
I don't think anyone healthy is 10 pounds.
Yeah, unless they're dead.
Unless they're a baby.
Even a pile of bones is still like 40.
I was thinking more so like a baby, when they're born, like 6 pounds, 10 pounds.
Yeah, that's a small human. Anyway,
yeah.
Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed episode 1 of season 2. Getting good with the philosophies, boys. Comment what your personal philosophies are.
Yeah. Tell us something you live by.
We want you guys to be active with us as we go through season 2. Also, this season's going to probably focus on more things kind of like that. We have some stuff down the pipe, such as some conspiracy theories, some personal school stories, man. Probably got some stuff like that.
Stuff like that?
We just got a whole list of plans in the notes app in our phones.
Oh, yeah. We're gonna go pretty deep with this one.
Yeah, especially my Minecraft Let's Play. We're gonna get real deep. So
stay
tuned for that.
Lego Star Wars. I swear, next episode it's gonna be all philosophy.
Facts. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for tuning in this week. Stay beautiful.
And if you're curious, I'm gonna be releasing music soon. So hey, stay posted.
All right, bye guys.
Bye.
Do it in my van every Sunday. She tells him she's in church, but she doesn't go. Still she's on her knees, and Scotty doesn't know. Oh, Scotty doesn't know. So don't tell Scotty, Scotty doesn't know, Scotty doesn't know. The owner says she's out shopping.